Hey team, back again. Right, so just as well I put a lanyard on the camera because as I was going, or as the camera fell off, I was going through a puddle, wasn't I? And I've got a hole in my case, which means if it had fallen in the puddle, I wouldn't have a brand new camera anymore. I'd have a week old piece of crap. So another thing I've learned out of that little experience is the tape that Sony provide on their mounts is shite. So the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to go and buy some 3M double-sided adhesive like the GoPros use, because that stuff is indestructible. Oh, excuse me. Heated hand grips, that's what I'm saying. Heated hand grips. I'm waiting for some stuff to come back from China for Manfred. And amongst that cache of goodies is heated hand grips. As I get older, my circulation isn't as great, and my hands get cold really easily now. It's no longer a case of just getting hard and toughening up through it. It's quite uncomfortable and can be quite painful. So they're pretty cheap. So I don't know how long they'll last, but never mind. I've also got the mirrors coming too, which is good. Right, there are the big Windmills. Those blades are about $200,000 each, and you can't quite get a perspective on it because it's up kind of high, but you need a low bed truck with a dolly at the end with a driver in it. That's what they have to use to transport them, and those generators up there, they're pretty bloody big. What the whole setup per windmill costs, I would not have a clue. So we've got Wellington. Wellington is down that way, Tasman Sea there, Palmerston North. Heaps more windmills down that way, pretty much the same, but the scenery's not as nice. Then it tapers off to the Manawatu Gorge, and through the Manawatu Gorge runs the Manawatu River. And the Manawatu River is almost unique in New Zealand in as much that it is one of only two rivers that traverse from one side of the island to the other through a mountain range. So where the other one is, I don't know. You can look it up. I can't do everything. Then you've got the Ruahine Ranges up towards Auckland that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to head back towards the vehicle and try not to bumpy. Try not to fall off in those deep ass puddles. Also want to quickly cover off other vloggers. I want to give a big shout out to my Kiwi brothers and sisters. Sweet Kiwi, Thorns on a Bike, Tank Girl. You know, those guys, it's good to watch. They're probably some of the last ones I subscribed to, because to find Kiwi vloggers is not the easiest, and it's kind of funny after watching American and Canadian and Australian vloggers listening to our accent. But we're starting to grow in numbers. You've got a guy G in Vlogger down in Wellington somewhere. You've got a guy Chili Hooligan, New Zealand rider of NZ. Very similar names, but they are different. And there's a number of other Kiwi vloggers which are all worth a look, and I will endeavour to post a link to another video from another Kiwi vlogger who has already listed all the Kiwi vloggers that he's aware of. There goes the bloody camera again. This is turning out to be a pain in my ass. Oh, goodness gracious me. So, Sony, of course you're watching my vlog, because I'm that important. Sort your tape situation out, man. This is shocking. You have just ruined my excellent first impression of your product, all because of a piece of probably 1 cent sticky tape. Not cool. Other vloggers. Other vloggers I'm subscribed to include Adrian Nickelodeon, he's an Australian guy, Leadpin, Riding with Tom, Tasty Ham Sandwich, there's a couple of other Aussie guys, Baker X Derek, Snowcat, Motornosity, Chase on Two Wheels, Upshift, Downshift, Arson Rides. Oh, there's heaps. Royal Jordanian, another good one. He doesn't do a lot of talking on his videos, and there's nothing wrong with that. His are more observations of what happens on the road and what's happening around him, which highlights one thing to anyone who watches them, is that pedestrians don't pay attention. It also highlights that lane splitting is mint. It is the best thing in the world. I've got two friends. No, I've got more than two friends, but two of my friends that I do have Can-Ams spiders. One is I think it's the ST, which is like it's got all the panniers on it and the windscreen and the real touring type look with almost like a dual sport or sport tourer seating position. I've got water in my boots. And the other one's got a RSS, which is the sporty model. And it was the sporty option that Can-Am put out before they released their last Spider, which is the F3S and the F3. Really awesome, aggressive looking things. In New Zealand, you only need a car license to ride them. I think they're about 1,000 cc's. The F3 might go a little higher than that. I'm not sure. I'm no expert. Haven't ridden one. To be honest with you, I don't know if I'm too fast. But if I had an accident where I couldn't ride a motorcycle, I would definitely look at getting one. I think they bridge a really good gap in the market for those who A, can't be bothered getting their bike license, but B, are maybe a little bit too scared about riding motorbikes for whatever reason. Well, scared's probably not the right word, apprehensive, because obviously on two wheels, it's exhilarating, but it does come with its risks, as we all know. But the Can-Am Spiders in New Zealand are registered as a roadster or a car, essentially. So you need a car license to operate a Can-Am Spider in New Zealand. No motorbike license required, which I think is pretty cool. Me, as far as what I ride, I love the twisty stuff. I love laying a bike into a corner and switching it out of that corner and into the next corner. I'm not really a high-speed racer. I'm not into dragging my knee or my arm or my face on the ground as I go around a corner, but I will lay it down enough to get good lean angles and even wear over my tyre. Oop, that was dicey. Just about slipped out there. So the Can-Am Spider, yeah, I think has its merits. It also has its pitfalls. One pitfall, which I illustrated to someone who is a die-hard fan of the Spider, is its inability to lane split, because it is about 3 times wider than a motorbike, so you can't get between cars on that. You also can't take those quick opportunities to pass sometimes like you can on a motorbike because you're wide. Jeez. I ride with guys that have... Oh, there we go, here's a slip again. I ride with guys who have a plethora of tastes in bike styles. I ride with guys who've got cruisers, specifically boulevards, C90s, M109s, that type of thing. I ride with guys who have got Harleys. I'm not a big fan of Harley. Never owned one, never ridden one, don't want to.